A bad steering rack can cost you control of your car, and that's not exaggeration. Lose rack function and you can lose steering. Modern cars use either hydraulic or electric assist, and what I'll show you here applies to hydraulic racks. Electric racks don't leak fluid, so the checks are different. Here's the deal. You'll learn 3 simple steps, quick visual checks, a hands-on play test at the wheel, and what to do next depending on what you find. These checks tell you if the rack itself is likely to blame or if you need pro help. Stick with me to the end. I'll share a clear checklist you can use right now to stay safe and save money. And since the first giveaway sign usually shows up under the car, let's start where most people miss it. Leaks, smells, and the silent wallet killer. Leaks, smells, and what I call the silent wallet killer usually starts small. A drip here, a faint stain there. If you're driving a car with hydraulic power steering, those wet spots matter. Electric racks don't use fluid, so if you've got an EV or a late model car with electronic assist, puddles won't be part of the story. But on hydraulic racks, lost fluid is the #1 early sign something's going wrong. You crouch and see a reddish or brown drop by the front wheel. At first glance, it could be a loose clamp or a tired hose. But when it traces along the rack housing itself, that's usually a seal under pressure starting to bleed out. And topping it off isn't a fix. That just hides the problem while pressure forces more fluid past the worn seal. Here's the kicker. Once fluid drops enough, the pump runs harder to keep up. Every turn pushes more past the failing seal, which makes the leak worse. It's a cycle you can't stop with a bottle of fluid. This is more than a mess on the driveway. It's the rack weakening inside. Think of it like a heavy door hinge. Lubed, it swings smooth. Dry it out, and the squeak grows into grinding until the pin starts chewing itself apart. A power steering rack does the same when fluid disappears. Friction climbs, heat builds, metal digs into metal. There's a fast way to read the condition without pulling parts. Start with the fluid itself. Fresh fluid is pink or red and clear. That's healthy. When it shifts to brown, it's overheated. If it goes nearly black and smells burnt, the system is cooking itself from the inside. But one quick caution, ugly fluid isn't always the rack's fault. A contaminated reservoir or a worn pump can discolor it too. So you've got to confirm where it's leaking before blaming the rack. Here's a simple driveway check you can do once the engine's cooled. Step 1, open the reservoir and note the level and color. Step 2, slide under the car and run your hand light under the hoses and fittings for wet spots. Step 3, check the accordion boots on both ends of the rack. They can hold fluid longer but will be damp if seals behind them are gone. And if you need a closer look, jack it up and watch the rack body itself for a glisten you can trace. That's about as straightforward as shop procedure gets. Shops see this pattern daily, drivers topping off over and over thinking they've got it handled. By the time they come in, the pump's been starved and burned, so now it's both pump and rack. That can put a bill in the low thousands when the whole system has to come out and an alignment is needed after. Compare that to a hose job at just a few hundred. Parts alone can be a few hundred, up to $1,000 depending on the car. Ignore it, and the numbers pile fast. So what do? You don't carry bottles in the trunk and keep refilling. Persistent leaks don't patch themselves. They mean the rack seals or internals are worn. Keep checking once a week, chase the source, and deal with it before it snowballs. That one habit saves you from doubling your repair list. Fluid loss is just the beginning. Another danger sign shows itself not under the car, but right in your hands when you steer. When your steering wheel starts talking back, when the steering wheel itself starts pushing back, you're getting one of the clearest warnings a rack can give. Stiffness, dead spots, or delayed response are the steering system's way of telling you that something inside isn't moving the way it should. Imagine holding the wheel straight on the highway, but instead of the car tracking calmly, you're making constant little corrections just to stay between the lines. That heavier feel isn't in your head. It often means the rack gears are dragging instead of running smooth, and you end up muscling the wheel instead of guiding it. Here's where drivers get tripped up. They think it's just alignment. They pay for a service and drive out with the same wandering and stiffness. Alignment angles won't fix worn rack teeth or binding bushings. The real trouble sits in the rack itself, where worn and sticking gears hold the wheel off center. Too much play shows up a different way. You turn the wheel, but the tires don't move right away. That wasted motion is called slack, and it builds either inside the rack gear or in the tie rod ends that connect to the wheels. It's the same effect as a loose tool that slips before it bites, frustrating, unreliable, and unsafe. Now, stiffness needs a quick distinction. Sometimes it's not the rack at all. On hydraulic systems, a failing power steering pump can cause a tight wheel. On electric systems, motors can fail in a similar way. But here's the rule of thumb. If your fluid level is correct and the pump or assist motor checks good, yet the steering still feels heavy, the rack itself is the likely culprit. What do you feel first? The wheel fights you in parking, or after making a turn, it doesn't swing back to center? Normal suspension geometry should pull the wheel straight again. If you're dragging it back with both hands, there's binding inside the rack or suspension pivots, either way. It's serious. Add in shudders on slow turns or knocking sounds under your feet, and you've got internal wear you can't ignore. Here's a safe 3-step check you can do in your driveway. Step 1, park on level ground, set the handbrake, and put the car in park. Step 2, switch the key to the on position so the wheel unlocks and assist is active. Step 3, rock the wheel left and right just a few inches and watch the front tires. They should move right with you. If the wheel shifts but the tires lag, you're looking at play in the rack or tie rods. Want a second check? Have a helper grab a front wheel and gently torque it side to side while you hold the steering wheel still. If the tie rod boots or rack mounts are loose, you'll either feel a clunk at the wheel or see the rack shaft move. If you're not comfortable doing this, have a shop, test it, but knowing it's an option helps you avoid guesswork. Stick with this order. Check for play before spending money on alignment. Shops see it all the time. People chase a crooked wheel with alignments when what's really failing is the rack. That costs more in the end. Catching play or binding early is the cheapest time to act. If you find big slack, grinding, or steering that burns fluid, don't keep driving. Get it to a shop. Internal rack repairs often need tools and parts that aren't handheld fixes, and delay only raises the bill. And here's the kicker. These steering symptoms don't just overlap, they stack. Leaks, stiffness, lag, or wandering all connect back to the same failing rack. Spotting them early keeps you ahead of the damage and your costs down. Most drivers write off early rack trouble as a tire or alignment issue, but the real signs are easy to spot once you know them. Leaks at the rack, play in the wheel, or a wheel that won't return to center. Left alone, those problems often mean a pump and rack replacement together, plus uneven tire wear. That usually pushes repairs into the low thousands, far more than catching it early. Here's your driveway checklist in one line. Check fluid color and trace leaks, rock the steering and watch for slack. Then see if the wheel returns to center after a slow turn. 3 simple tests, minutes to do. Try them today and drop a comment with what you found clear leak or found play, and I'll reply. Subscribe for practical how-tos and tool-first tutorials you can use this weekend.